Look at this. SVB the GOAT. The man who's seen it all and done it all on the pool table. He's up against the young Filipino, AJ Manas. The event's not quite gone the way AJ would have wanted. Jeremy Jones back in the booth for this one after his little practice session over there in the corner.
Yeah, I actually hit some nice ones.
Whose cue was you using?
I was trying out Tyler's.
What's the verdict?
Pretty surprisingly stiff. Had a conical tapered shaft. I think it was keel wood. You know, a little different. Felt short in my hands just because I'm used to that 30-inch shaft. And, of course, the Pro Taper now. I actually used to play with somewhat of a conical taper when I used wood. I actually kind of designed my own taper a little bit. Kind of copied it after a famous cue maker in America, Dennis Searing. It's kind of like the Balabushka of today, probably. Very, very sought-after cues on the custom side. Speaking of new cues, SVB's got another one in his hand, Generation 2. He's looked real good with it, though, and this, again, I know some things have gotten away here in these last few days, but I think the culmination of new cue is maybe why he's not got the long extension.
Yeah, he's in 8th place, Shane, but the two players who sit at the top are on 8 wins out of 11. If Shane can win this, he's on 6 out of 11, so it just shows how close he really is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, moving forward, everything counts, everything carries. So I think for me, just because I believe in him quite a bit, I think he's going to advance. It's just a matter of, you know, you don't want to scrape by and put a lot of pressure on yourself for the next round because you know it's the cream of the crop.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting for that surge, aren't we? I'm a bit like you, Jeremy. Just waiting for him to sort of kick on one, and then we're talking about him, you know, maybe saying, well, he's won 4 or 5 matches on the spin. We're just waiting for that spark. Is this going to be it?
Well, yeah, and a credit to everyone else involved. But I really feel like the break's good for him. Of course, he's got a few of them now he really can utilize. But I think the tables, if he gets into just him and say, hey, I want to beat the table as tough as they are, that was not a hard kiss shot for him. But I feel like he'll get in that zone that we're wanting to see.
Yeah, maybe that's been the issue. Just that big shot in the rack. Just gone missing.
Well, you won't see many slow rolled by this young man. He likes to make that sound we like here. And that little pop on the back of the pocket.
He likes to play with a long cue. What I mean by that is when he puts his hand on the table, from his hand to the cue ball.
Yeah, one difference I see with him, though, is a lot of people, once that bridge starts stretching out, the stroke actually gets shorter. You know, for some reason, it's almost like the brain can't handle it. But his is quite the opposite. Never really short arms the stroke at all, really. As natural as you've seen in a long time.
Yeah, he just gets on with it, doesn't he? He really plays to his strength. Love watching him, I really do. Great addition to this year's league. Even though he's near the bottom. But again, if we have a look where AJ Manas sits, well, he's in 15th place. And he's on 3 wins, so you really feel like he's in that territory of must wins now. This was the carom that SVB missed. Trying to knock the green in, got to hit the lowest ball first, which was the pink. Misjudged it, cost him the rack. Table 2, Wong. He's at the table. He's about to tie it up. He's on the 9, an easy 9. And he made it. Two apiece over there on table 2. 1-0 here. AJ to break.
Yeah, We talked about it. Probably one thing he'll pick up on and want to pick up on is the break itself. Not only, you know, his speed, but get more speed added. Maybe figure out a few different locations for the cue ball. Just experiment. And I think after playing here, he'll certainly do so.
Yeah, here we go. Good chance. Swing the cue ball around.
Yeah, one of Shane's really kind of favorite shots, pulling this deep, catching that third rail on the right, dropping down for the 2. Got to kind of sweet it around, though. Yeah, like that. Gonna have to bump it a little. Okay, this sets up pretty nice. Just get kind of good on the 3, the 4 in the right middle. Got to work to the 5 a little bit. Not that difficult. Yeah, this really is something mental, this PLP. When you think about it, with the equipment we're on, the equipment really, and I think you can say this about maybe Shane some this week, Eklund for sure, you can't really lose focus on any shot. You know, you could lose speed to the next shot. You could certainly miss a ball, but the thing that's fighting against you is with so many matches and not knowing exactly how you're going to stand overall for a few days, it's easy to lose focus. So I think you got to be, you know, kind of doubly on your game.
Yeah, as we approach the evening session, day 4, and then obviously come the end of tomorrow, day 5's play, we're going to lose the bottom 6. You just get the feeling there'll be certain matches where players will be treating it like a final. Kind of like when they know what they've got to do. And you think, well, you've not really done this the full event sort of thing. Capito looks like he's been on it. From, you know, every match, every time I've watched him, he's like really been so consistent.
Well, I think he's trying to win, but also what this guy does real well, and that's why I think we're still going to see that, is get really involved in yourself. And I know that sounds a little selfish, but that's how it is out there. Not only that, thinking about a bunch of events coming up after this PLP, you can get on a run. Capito, right? He's got a big week coming up in, what, 6 weeks' time, maybe less.
Yeah, defending his UK Open trophy. That's what Jeremy's alluding to. One apiece here. We're also on the last match of the afternoon session over on table 2. Vietnam's Wong Kwok Quang. He's at the table playing Claudio Catchy. You didn't know already. Claudio is the younger brother of Eklund Catchy. Eklund Catchy is a former winner of the UK Open. And we're back at the Telford International Centre, 6th through to the 11th of May. It's going to be a great weekend. I'm sure Mr. Capito can't wait to walk out, play on the main table as a defending champion.
All right, that's more of the speed on the break we saw him use very successfully for the most part at the European Open. Taking just a little speed off. I think what he sees with that is just, you know, the cue ball's a little more in his control of what things happen. I think the hard break, you do encounter a ton of kisses. Whereas when we saw SVB make you know, kind of dominate the world there for a while. It seems like he got through the rack back and forth without kisses as much as anyone, right? Now Federer's kind of doing the same the last year or so. But I think when you look long term, that does add up. He's really whipping it here.
Yeah, look at him juicing this up, really getting himself ready.
He's going to need some help. Probably expected a little more kind of bounce off the 2 to recreate the line on the cue ball. It's funny, you know, when he was practicing this morning, he was one of the first I saw in here when I arrived, and he was practicing almost the exact same shot, and he hit it. Didn't like it at first. Probably shot it a good 7 or 8 times. Other guys came in waiting on their rack, and Shane kept setting it up and said, I'm gonna shoot it, guys, till I like it. They kind of, without saying so many words. It's the type sometimes you kick and bank it cross side. It's quite often. Oh, you hit it beautifully.
Yeah, we may see the jump cue. Straight for it.
But even there, we saw at the end of the last match, he kind of just kicked it some after he'd made a few mistakes or things weren't going his way. I liked what I saw there. Looking at the jump, deciding against it. The kick was better, so he's staying engaged.
We may see Shane reach for it. Could go off left rail, obviously, or the back rail.
I like the left rail. He's real sharp with this shot, coming off of it, trying to pocket the 5. Now here, you go all out, or I like putting a little more speed on this, trying to give myself a better chance on the 5, or do you roll it, trying to hold position also? Does he need a little right English, actually? Swish. Ooh. Might have to draw off the pink here.
Yeah, that was a really good strike.
And he's a hair off angle here, so may have to go forward. Kind of hard to stun the ball and get a ton of movement when the object ball is that far away from the rail. So it does possess a lot of power, though. Kind of like easy power.
A little light on the 8 ball. Still take care of this. 2-1. AJ. Really good shot to get on the 8 ball. Got into the cue ball with a lot of ease. Go on, Quack Quack. Off to a terrible start. This year's PLP is at the table. He's 4-2 up and he's in 12th place. This would put him up into the SVB territory with 5 points a win here. He's got a chance.
Excuse me, here's a good look. Looks a little tight. He's cueing downward. Is he banking this ball? Okay, he got by it. I was just curious. There's a cue ball for the pink. I guess he did have to draw past the 6. It's 2 balls tracking towards the side and goes in, but he's on the 3. Got a nice natural 2-rail angle around the 8th, that being AJ.
Yeah, back to the main action.
You can reach it. May have to float it with a hair right. Could come to the bottom cushion also. And back up for the purple 5 in the lower left. Wants to get good there, though. Doesn't want to get thin because the 6 doesn't pass the 8. Yeah, I like the softer side myself. Now maybe he has to go into the 6, or maybe he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, that's made up not too bad, has it? Lost his cue ball there, though. You have to show us a bit here.
Yeah. Might come with one of those shots like his countryman, Chua. Extreme high ball. Could just ease this in. I don't mind that. I mean, just ease it in and took the shot. You can't argue that.
Yeah, I think overall it's smart play, isn't it?
Yeah, give yourself a chance, right? Just got to work a little harder here on the 8.
What a shot this is, JJ.
Yeah, I don't know if it ever touched the rail going in. He's earned one here and a 3-1 lead.
A real deal.
And don't you feel, even though it seems like hard to get a lot of words out of him, but don't you feel the demeanor is great for a young man of his age that plays so well also?
Yeah, what age is he again? 18?
Yeah, I think he just turned 18.
Just turned 18.
Being in the Philippines, though, right? Great players and so many humble champions. So he's taken a page or two out of some past champions, and not only on the table, off the table there from the Philippines.
SVB looks on. This will not please him. It was a good break though. Look at the cue ball arcing below the 9.
At first glance, this is no picnic, and it didn't take long for AJ to give it back. I'm not sure what he's going to do, really. Really good at floating the ball, so we'll see.
Fire the combo, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was the shot, though.
Yeah.
Almost moved every ball on the table.
I don't think AJ, I mean, I'm not saying he didn't spot the combo, because obviously it was so difficult. But yeah, there you see.
As they say in one pocket, kind of rearranged the furniture a little bit. Now, does he play to open off the 6-7 when he shoots the pink 4 here in a moment? Gotta go. Yeah, you just put that little bit of extra, that arc on the cue ball kind of eats up the energy and it just doesn't travel as much. Saw it about a diamond off that rail when it came off that side cushion. Doesn't want to open that. Yeah.
Yeah, how to turn a match on its head with one shot. You've just witnessed it. Everything's gone AJ Manas' way here. With the help of his opponent. When you got that momentum at this game, it's... I know it's easier said than done. You've got to take it. And take it on table 2. Duong Quoc Quan didn't. He had a chance. The match over there. It's now 4-3 to Duong.
Not exactly what he wanted here, so he's got to make a nice one. Should come between the 6 and 8. It's a little speed. All right, Shane. And that angle might come for the side. We'll see.
Took a little roll around the pocket before disappearing. Now trails 3-2. Close match over on table 2. Duong Quoc Quan is at the table. He's just broke off. Got a decision to make on the blue 2. Don't believe he played the bank. He was trying to get the 2 ball on the bottom rail and use that wall of balls as the hook. And now he's going airborne. He's going to jump over the pink 4, try and make the red 3 in the corner.
Talked about it changing. Now a scratch on the break, and there was no kiss on the cue ball that I saw.
Duong doesn't want him winning that match over there. He's had a couple of chances. But he'll catch. He should get the job done now. SVB at the table. Just landed a little funny on the red 3 as Shane, so he's got to make sure he gets back out. Don't think he can pot it from being sort of below the 9. Doesn't struggle with power at all. Probably got the most powerful stroke on the circuit.
Yeah, and that was important. A lot of people would have just put high right, but then you get funny on the 4 to get to the 6 if you're hitting a lot of this 7 ball. So very necessary what he just did. Even though he's going to still catch the 7, he can come towards the 6 though. Again, little things that I think gets overlooked about his game. It's really genius position-wise, especially for his technique and what he prefers to do. All right, needs to dig on this a little bit. Okay, he's going to get a kiss. Almost got, I think he got the most brutal kiss you could get. I mean, we come in behind it sometimes, but not at that angle as much. I don't know if we can get another look at it, but I'd love to see how close to the rail that 8-ball was that he got behind and stopped the cue ball.
Yeah, we could just see in the distance Cledio going back to his chair. He's going to grab his brake cue because he's going to be braking at Hill over there. It's 4-4.
He's played pretty steady, Cledio, and I just feel like he's getting even better. Okay, he's got a little piece of this maybe. So we're going to try and cross this up the rail and get somewhere on the left side using the 8 and 9 some manner. Okay. It's been as fun as any player burying long, tough shots. That AJ, all week he's been doing it. Let's see another.
This is a real tough pot for AJ. Missed it by somewhat. He's going to dress up. Well, look at this, Jeremy. He's tried to curl it.
Yeah. I think day one, a few players said pair of adjustment needed on the tables. They took care of that. Hadn't heard much since.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the table was rolling off. It could be many things, that 7-ball. It could be a little bit of dust on the slate. So it could be on the cue ball, a hair or something.
Yeah, just even a little breeze at that speed.
Yeah.
Last couple would have liked a little more out of the stroke, but going to tie this match. That's why he's taking more time, because he didn't like the feeling of the last two deliveries. Much more through the ball that time. I think we're going to get a look at that odd shot, even though it didn't cost him at the end. And here's a look. Look how close to the rail the 8 is to come in behind it. And it had to have a little of that side spin to kind of hold the 8 up, where it didn't open, where he had a clean shot. Shane may have seen that replay as well. All right, DeWong got 4 balls left again to get a much-needed win.
The shot where Shane hooked himself, do you class that as like a bad shot, or do you just think it's been unfortunate to hit it that way? Where do you sort of categorize that?
Well,
for yourself, I mean, if you were playing.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty brutally honest about it with myself, especially. I think that was pretty hard luck, because he was a little thin on the 6. He could have pushed it and tried to, get back past the 8, but then he really threatens missing the 6. So I think he saw that the percentage was on his side not to have anything bad happen. All right. Dead behind the 9. Look at this. Kind of all the pockets are covered up except for the sides. The 2's in the middle of the table. Doesn't have a pocket up table. Doesn't have a pocket down table. Makes things a little easier to push out. And here on the split screen table 2. DeWong, nice way to end the afternoon session with a solid win.
Yeah, it could be a big old point for DeWong there as well, because that now puts him on 5 points in 11.
Yeah, if I'm AJ, if nothing sticks out, I might pass this back. Really don't see a whole lot that's, I'd say, is definite. And again, at this level, if you let them see this ball, if you cross it over to the top cushion and run the cue ball, you're probably the favorite to get snookered on the incoming shot. I don't think this is easy. Now, Shane figures out a lot of different things, all those different disciplines he plays, I think really helps. Now, can he beat the kiss, banking the 2, and run the cue ball behind the 3 maybe? Yeah, that's the shot I saw. Just kind of take his chances that no bad glance is going to happen. Yeah, DeWong wins the match and right to the practice table to practice a shot he didn't like.
Yeah, pool players trait that. Forget about the good ones, the bad ones.
It's kind of like matches, right? I remember the losses for some reason a little easier than the wins.
Just got to get this shot right.
Attention.
Took a lot of time on the shot. Obviously trying to pinch a bit, trying to get that angle. Here's another look. Yeah, you might think he just missed the easiest ball of his life, but it wasn't really a case of that. It was because he was trying to force the issue with the cue ball. Now we're going to see some power here. Let's see what the youngster's got. Well, he's not too bad. He's got a thin one here. He may risk going into the 9.
Yeah, looks like the 9 could. It's kind of queuing down a little bit. Okay, he decided to play the safety, and a good one. Very good. Shane's going to have to probably come 2 cushions off the bottom here. Could zigzag it across. Z shot. I don't know if he can really swerve it and really get enough out of it coming into that near left side pocket. So he's going twice.
Yeah, the replay from Shane, you could see he got close a couple of times of flicking the pink 4 ball. Got a similar vibe to late last night, Jamie, when we was doing the Shaw game, hasn't it? Shaw ended up surviving a Hill thriller late into the evening. It was the only table in play. A little like the afternoon session now. AJ and Shane, last match on. There you see table 2, all empty. They've gone for the dinner break. AJ finds himself on the hill first, 4-3. Can't remember who's got the break. I think it's AJ. There's Tyler Steyer wondering what's happened to his cue. I'm going to go and tell him Jeremy Jones has been whacking balls around while you weren't here.
I hit at the pocket more often than you would have thought.
He's looking at the bottom of the queue thinking, what's going on here? What have you done to it, Jeremy?
Yeah, them clammy hands I have. He's probably like, what's on my cue right here?
That's funny.
Throw me under the bus. Boise. All right, Manas.
He's still looking at the butt end of that queue, Jeremy. Did you whack it?
No, he's working on it. Come on now.
Did you miss a ball and slam the queue?
I did miss a ball. I ain't gonna lie to that. All right, a little more pace there from AJ.
Oh, there's a bit of a shot on here, isn't there, Jeremy?
Sure looks like it. I mean, we'll see how it lays from the overhead if the balls get the rest here. See if that kiss shot on the pink is on.
Can he bank the two as well?
I don't like to slow roll this kiss unless I really feel like it's dead slow rolling it. Plus, I can hover the two over the side pocket. Because otherwise, your cue ball is going to be on the end rail. He played the safety. Prudent play. Needs it to go, though. Whew, that got an extra roll out of it than I thought was going to happen.
I think he should have gone game.
I like those shots myself. Greatest to ever do it, or one of them between him and the guy at the table. Efren Reyes won a lot of games and matches behind those kiss shots after the break. All right, if you're feeling good, you just shoot it in with inside and kill the ball, kind of dragging it. Now he's going to come outside, so I'm not sure. Not sure what he's doing with the cue ball. Okay, he's getting to the thin one, and that's such a good call. Not only hitting it how you want, but he likes that shot. Plus, how open is the center of the table? He can really afford to go up and down. You know, Shane has talked about retiring at some point in the near future, but I still think he loves to play. But just because this matchup and some other ones that we can think of with these youngsters, sure want him to stick around playing for, let's say, another decade.
Yeah, and obviously if you look at other professional sports people, as you get a little bit older, you do tend to start picking and choosing a little more, don't you? You don't want to be constantly, playing in everything. You have different ideas and goals, so maybe that's what we'll start to see from Shane. He's certainly getting into that kind of bracket, isn't he? Where maybe he'll leave a few alone.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those special ones to where, that winning is way up there for him. So when he gets to the point he doesn't feel like he can really win, I think that's the breaking point for him. I really do. I think as long as he feels like he can win, with no lack of putting forth the effort to do so, which he doesn't mind doing that, I think we're still going to see him playing.
Well, he's done well here because he's not been on his A game or B game. But this is what it's about. It's about finding a way. And to finish the afternoon session here on day 4, it seems only fitting we go the distance. It's going to be a one-rack shootout to see who claims the point. If it's SVB, he'll go on 6 points out of 11. That would be then the same as Ruiz, who's just above him in 7th. Claudio Cacci, who just lost to Duong Kwang. He's on 6. Duong is now in 9th. Wong lost his first 3 matches on day 1. He's in 9th place, 5 wins from 11. AJ Manas, 3 wins from 10. Here we go. It's the SVB break. We never get bored of watching this. Yeah, slight mishit. Cue ball was tracking. It was bending up near that side pocket. Going to be a push.
Yeah. A difficult one. A 2-3 combination playable pretty much from anywhere up table. So many blockers if he pushes out to some kind of safety option on the bottom end. I don't know what he does here, really. Can you kind of use the 7 to hold the ball to maybe just a portion of the 2? That way options are limited. It's got to be just a piece, I would think anyway. Yeah, that's what he's doing here with the rail. He's using the rail to hold the cue ball to just a sliver of the 2. I think if you're comfortable, you try to attack here to get behind the 9. It's going to be a little heavy. So Shane's got the bottom of the ball and like to hold behind the pink. The 2's going into the red 3. So this is still a little touchy. He's going to weigh his options, though. Don't really see a ton of them. You know, from this distance, you wouldn't want to cut the 2 and try and come 1 rail back on the back of the 4, maybe. It's not bad, though. Could just take your chances that the 2 escapes. You shoot straight at it, holding behind the pink 4, and as the 2 goes into the 3. This is a little odd. The more I look at it, I might cut the 2 and try to come back to the rail, but slick table doesn't really offer that shot too easily. I think that's all he could do.
Yeah, good execution.
All right, a lot of balls there if he can get to that side cushion. Now, don't get too involved. You could maybe not get a rail. Really try to control everything. You get plenty of speed. It's going to open up just a little bit, it looks like. If Shane gets out here, I'd like to hear an interview from him, just what he thinks about the young man he just played and what he's seen so far.
A little light, isn't it, Jeremy? Didn't pop the 2 how you wanted, so the cue balls just fell a little short.
And I think he had to curb it a hair.
Oh, fair enough then.
Yeah, swerved it a little much. Seems easy to do on the slick table. Yeah, identical to last night, right? He's in position, but we still feel like there could be a lot of pull left.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, yeah. We've had this vibe with Shaw last night. We've had it with Ruiz today. We're having it with SVB right now. When you were playing, Jeremy, did you ever play in something like this, a similar kind of format, you know, over the distance? This needs to hold up. Doesn't want to be straight.
I got to play in one of the Make It Happens, which is it was a 1 pocket, 1 round robin. Same kind of deal. You get numbered down, and then you play the final and whatnot. That was a fun event, very class field. I was very honored to get to play in it because I wasn't playing a ton of pool at the time. And once you get off this cushion here, this can get a little odd. Not much angle, but a little bit. And then the Worlds, we used to round robin the Worlds, which I really liked that also in the group staging.
Really like the way Shane's digging in here. Really wants to get this point, doesn't he? Keep going. Yeah, that is just about okay. Such an important point for him as well. Just because after this match, he will only have 4 games left to play. And he'll be on 6 points, level with Ruiz and Katchi. Claudio Katchi, that.
And he hasn't been totally on his game like he was in day 1, and even past that European Open, he played real well, even though he got beat. But I feel like he's been better than a few of the others that are really in that same kind of location on the standings.
There it is. We've finished with a thriller. Not in Manila, but in Sarajevo. SVB, the GOAT, gets the point. Just how big of a point is it going to be? We just explained,